Hello and welcome to our today's lesson. Today we'll be talking about the order of operations, and I urge you to watch this video until the end because at the beginning we are going to solve these problems using scenarios that might not be a right solution, okay? But you need to follow along, and as we go to the end, you actually will understand how the process work. My name is Jay Aquidouble, and let us get into it. When we talk about operations in mathematics, we are talking about additions, division, subtraction, multiplications, parentheses, exponent, or powers. Those are the operations in mathematics. Okay, so there are times that a particular expression may have one or two or more uh, operations in that identical problem, and there is a set rule that we actually follow when we are solving problem of such. Okay, so what we will do is we will look at two scenarios to see how different and how wrong our solution may be if we don't follow the appropriate order. So for this first one, for this first scenario, we are going to evaluate this problem beginning from the left, going to the right, and solving the problems as the operations come. Okay, so we'll begin from the left. We have 8 plus 4. Okay, so we have that. So in our first step, 8 plus 4 is 12. So we have 12 here divided by 2, multiplied by this entire parenthesis. So we go to the next step, and we divide 12 by 2. Okay, 12 by 2, that will give us 6, and times this parenthesis. Then we go to the next one, which is 6. This parenthesis is multiplication, so we have 6 times 6, which is 36. So we have 36 times 5 squared plus 3. Okay, so 36 times 5, we have that is 180, and square plus 3. So we square the 180, that will give you 32,400 plus 3. So that becomes 32,403. So this will be our solution if we were to solve this problem, taking it from the left, going to the right, and dealing with the operations as they come. All right, let us look at another scenario. In this, we are going to take this number in 2, okay, in 2. So this is 2, then this one stands by itself. So we have 8 plus 4 is 12, and you also have 2 times 6 is also 12. So you have 12 divided by 12 times 5 squared is 25 plus 3. So we take these two together and take these two together. So we have 12 divided by 12 is 1, and 25 plus 3 is 28. So you will have in the next step 1 plus 28. So 1 times 28 now becomes 28. So this will be our solution. But are these solutions actually right? We say no. These two solutions are not right, okay? Because they did not follow the appropriate rule, the BODMAS rule. All right, so in the BODMAS rule, each of the letters within this spelling, okay, represents an operation. So the first one, which is B represents bracket. So the order is that we perform brackets first. It can either be bracket or parenthesis. Okay, so you perform bracket or parenthesis first. Then after that, you go to the order. The order is actually the powers or the square roots or the exponent in general. Okay, so you perform exponent next. Then after that, you go to DM. DM is division and multiplication. So for division and multiplication, they are of the same level. They are of the same level. So what you do is you can either perform division or multiplication first, okay, but you must begin from the left to the right. It must be in that order. So if in a problem division appears to the left first before the multiplication, in that case you will perform the division first before the multiplication. So just as addition and subtraction are also of the same level, so either of them can be performed first, but keeping in mind that you take it from the left to the right. What we usually want to do is we remember this BODMAS, okay, BODMAS. So with this rule in mind, we are going to solve our previous example problem using this BODMAS rules. What we're going to do here is we say bracket or parentheses. So the parentheses is always considered to be one term or one value. So whatsoever expression that is in the parentheses, you must solve that first before getting out of the parentheses. So we are going to keep these values and only consider the parentheses first. So we take this parentheses and evaluate it, okay? So if we are evaluating this parenthesis, but within the parenthesis is an expression as well, okay? And this expression, we must also perform a keeping the BODMAS rule into our mind. So we have exponent, so which is order. So we must perform exponent before multiplication and addition. So here we square 5, which is 25. So then we will have 6 multiplied by 25 plus 3. Okay, then now we are left with two operations, multiplication and addition. So of these two, we must perform multiplication before addition. So it means you will multiply 6 and 25, which will give us 150 plus 3. So we have only one operation, so we add these two numbers, we have 153. So that would be the value for this entire parenthesis. So we now go to our next step. So we take now this value, because this parenthesis is also multiplication, we know that. So is 2 multiplied by this entire parenthesis, which is 153. Okay, so now we have this expression. So we have addition, division, and multiplication now in our problem. So we must perform division and multiplication before addition and subtraction. So we'll hold on the addition, then we'll come to division and multiplication. Now, for the division and multiplication, they are of the same level, but we must begin from the left to the right. So we will perform the division first before the multiplication. So you will divide here. So you have 8 plus 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 153. So you have 8 plus 2 times 153. Now you are left with two operations, addition and multiplication. And we know multiplication before addition. So we will multiply here 2 by 153 and before adding. So we have 8 plus 2 by 153 is 306. Okay, 306. So you add now 306 to 8, you will have 314. So this is our solution for this problem, which we have used following the appropriate order. So this is the order that we must follow whenever we are solving problems that contain multiple operations, which is the BODMAS rules. Okay, so let us look at few more examples. Okay, so evaluate A. We have 2 plus 6 multiplied by minus 4 parenthesis closes square minus 3 cube. When there is a parenthesis and you see a power on that parenthesis, it means everything that is within the parenthesis is affected by the power. So if the negative is within the parenthesis, so it is also affected by the power. But here, the negative is not affected. All right. So what we will do is we can do the both of them at the same time. All right. So this is minus 4 square, and we have 4 square. So minus 4 square and 4 square, we can just take them aside and solve them separately. So you have minus 4 square is minus 4 times minus 4, and the 4 square is 4 cube is 4 times 4 times 4. So minus 4 times minus 4, negative times negative is positive. Two similar sign is a positive sign. So 4 times 4 is 16. So here 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. So you have 16 times 4. 16 times 4 is 64. So these are the two values now we are going to use in this problem. So we have 16 now here. The parenthesis here is multiplication, so it's 6 times 16 minus this 64, which represents the 4 cube. All right, so in here we have three operations: addition, multiplication, and subtraction. So we know, according to the BODMAS rules, the multiplication must come before addition and subtraction. So we do the multiplication first. So you have 2 plus 6 times 16. 6 times 16 will give you 96 minus the 64. So you have two operations, positive and negative. They are of the same order. So we must begin from the left to the right. So we must add first before subtracting. So you have 2 plus 96, which is 98 minus 64. So 98 minus 64 will give you 34. So this becomes our solution for this problem. So let us look at one more. B. This is 2 plus parenthesis 6 minus 2 parenthesis closes minus parenthesis minus 2 square parenthesis closes or square. Okay, so we must deal with the parenthesis first. So you can deal with this parenthesis just at the same time dealing with this parenthesis. So you have 2 plus 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay, but in this parenthesis you have minus 2 square. So you will square the 2. This 2 doesn't affect the minus. Okay, this 2 power, the power 2 here doesn't affect the minus. It only affects this 2. But this other power affects the negative and also affect the 2 square. Okay, so we will do that first. So you have 2 plus 6 minus 2 is 4 in this parenthesis. Then in here you have minus 2 square is 4. So you will square this 4, this 2 first. So you have 2 plus 4 minus this minus, and 2 square is 4. And this other square that is outside here. All right. Then here you are going to break out the parentheses, because here the coefficient of this parenthesis is 1. So you will say 1 is a positive value. 1 times 4 is just 4. So to break this out, you have 2 plus 4. Then here you are going to square this parenthesis, okay? And the parenthesis is minus 4. So minus 4 times minus 4 is positive 16. So you will have now 2 plus 4 minus 16. This negative is here, and this minus square, minus times minus is positive, so it goes out, then the 16 comes. Okay, then you have two operations, positive and negative. So you begin from the left to the right. So you will add first before subtracting. So you have 8 or 6. You have 6 here because 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 minus 16. So 6 minus 16 is negative 10. That becomes our solution. Okay, so thank you and see you in the next video.